Hey everyone, this video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally post, but I recently hit 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So I just wanted to make a video to say thank you, a huge thank you, and just to also let you know a little bit more about me personally, to know how I kind of got to this point and why I'm doing what I do. So I hope you enjoy it, and thank you again. I thought it would be appropriate, since we're gonna get a little bit more personal, that I bring my favorite drink to the party, which is black coffee. Wild and crazy, I know. So this all really started with me going to occupational therapy school. I graduated in 2017. I did travel therapy for a little while. I'm from Tennessee, which is a state in the southeastern United States. And I did some travel therapy out in Oregon, which is on the northwest side of the states. And I saw a lot of things that I didn't like in the healthcare system. And I've continued to see things that I don't like in the healthcare system, at least in the United States. As anyone who lives here can tell you, it's not great. Our healthcare system isn't perfect by any means. In fact, I have been so disenchanted with it. I wrote a whole blog post called Healthcare is Broken. If you want more details on that, you can check out my post. I'll leave a link in the description below. What really changed my prerogative was in October of 2019, my grandmother-in-law, my nanny, she ended up having a transient ischemic attack, or a TIA. From the moment of being admitted to a rural county emergency room to a stroke care hospital, and then going on to receive rehab and therapy in a skilled nursing facility, I was just really not impressed with what I saw. But the other thing that I noticed was the absolute trauma that having a stroke has, not only on the person who experiences it, but on the people who are around them and the people who love them. And I can't imagine people having gone through 2020 and now 2021 who have to be in the hospital and they can't have people there to help them advocate. Because when my nanny was admitted to the emergency room, she was demonstrating global aphasia, meaning that she could not understand the input, what we were saying to her, and she could not express herself, which, as you can imagine, especially if you've experienced that, is incredibly frustrating and terrifying. So to have someone who just doesn't understand what's going on, you're not able to speak with them to comfort them. You know, we tried our best. We would hold her hand, rub her arm, pat her. We advocated with the nurses, with the doctors, because if she had been in there alone, I don't know what would have been done for her, if anything, outside of, the basic care that she needed. The way that I practiced after that it was changed. I was changed as a clinician and just as a person, because you don't go through something like that and you're not changed. This is what I tell my patients, my clients all the time. Healthcare professionals may be the experts in their field, including physicians who are specialized, but they are not the expert on you. And your experience is valid. Everything that you are going through is valid. What I also realized was that it was bigger than just physical health. It was bigger than physical rehab. And I felt well placed as an OT, an occupational therapist, where our roots began in mental health, to broaden my treatment spectrum, as opposed to seeing somebody who had a stroke and say, okay, how can we get their left arm moving? Which is still very important, but it made me start thinking about bigger questions, like, how is this affecting their mood? Have they been depressed? Are they anxious? Is this impacting the way that they engage with me in therapy? Will it engage the way that they continue recovery when they go home? How has their cognition changed? Because if we're asking you to do something but you don't understand what's going on, how is that going to be effective? How is that going to generalize or carry on? So I'm getting a bit long-winded. I'm sorry. But it did. It really completely changed my perspective. So when the pandemic hit, feels like a lifetime ago, but also yesterday. In the United States, it really started getting bad in March of 2020. I decided to take a step back from my home health care job, and I wanted to explore a different way of practicing, of providing education, of providing information, because what I started to hear as I joined stroke survivor groups and as I listened to more people who have and had gone through strokes and their families and their caregivers, one of the things that I heard most often, especially in the US, but in some countries outside of the US, were that they did not get the amount or the quality of care that they needed. In the back of my mind, I knew that that was a truth. I had seen that with my nanny. I had seen that when I worked in certain skilled nursing facilities. It just really was a gut punch to hear it from so many different people. So I started to try to think differently. I started a teletherapy private practice. As I mentioned before, I was a travel therapist for a while, so I had different state licensures, and I still have those. So as I started my teletherapy private practice and then started thinking more globally and broadly, I thought, okay, what can I do to reach out? So the first thing I did was I started a blog, which is still up. I don't post quite as often now, but I do have a large back catalog of posts. It started there because I was afraid to be on camera. If we're going to get really open about things, I was very afraid to put myself out there. A couple years ago, I completely shut all my social media sites down. I just said I didn't really want to have anything to do with it. I'm going to back away from that. I have stepped continually outside of my comfort zone because I realize that it's not about me. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about you. It's about the person who's watching this. If I can help a little bit, if I can give some guidance, if I can give some education, information, ways that you can advocate for yourself to get what you need, provide access to resources, that's what it's all about. So YouTube has been my part-time job. I would love to be able to make this a full-time job one day. That's what I'm shooting for, because I think it has the potential to reach so many more people. All that to say is I'm extremely grateful that so many people are finding value in what I do. I couldn't do this without you. So I appreciate every single one of you who has taken the time to come and subscribe and watch my content, and I hope find something helpful and useful out of my videos. That was really long-winded. I'm sorry that took so long, but thank you for allowing me a place to come and share what I know and to pass that information along to you. Again, I feel that it's such a privilege to be able to do that, and I'm thankful every day that I have the chance to do this, to do what I do, and to share with you. So, as new updates come available, I'll keep you posted. I've got some cool stuff in the works that I hope you're gonna find interesting. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just looking forward to making more videos for you. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Thank you so much again to everyone who has watched any of my videos, subscribed, liked, commented, been engaged in some way. You are so appreciated, and you are the reason that I do what I do. And it is an honor and it is a privilege, and I try not to forget that. So thank you so much again, and I will see you next time.